And let's take you back to our earlier story where there have been videos circulating on social media of Metrobus passengers complaining about the buses being late, overcrowding, as well as bus drivers drinking on the job. To answer to these grievances, we are now joined by Metrobus Acting Managing Director Luyanda Gidini. Luyanda, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Earlier on, we spoke to one of your passengers, Candace, who's complaining about your poor service and also the attitude of your drivers. What's your response to it?
Firstly, thank you for inviting us onto the show. In terms of the complaints, as Metrobus in the city of Johannesburg, we take the complaints very seriously. There's inspectors, there's a team which follows up on all the complaints which are made, and we encourage that our passengers continuously escalate any complaints or concerns that they have so that it is brought to our attention, and we shall deal with it accordingly. We do have a team which then is dedicated to deal with these complaints. Unfortunately, there have been an escalation of complaints of late due to the high number of out-of-commission buses. So we do have an issue with our fleet's availability. So a lot of the complaints that we do receive as a result of the low number of buses that we have at any given point in time. It is something that we are, as Metrobus management and also the city of Johannesburg, are addressing in this particular financial year. We have been allocated a budget for purchasing of new buses. We've also been allocated some funds to lease buses. We have been hit really hard in the past few years. I think the last time we had been allocated any budget was in the 2015-2016 financial period. So the concerns that the consumers have are very valid concerns. We are aware of the concerns, and we have been relaying these concerns to our principals, to the shareholder, to inform that in order for us to continue operating the different shifts in order to make sure that we continue in providing, according to our mandate, the bus services to the residents of Johannesburg, we really do require investment. I'm happy to say that although it has taken a long time, it's been more than 8 years since we received any allocation for buses, but I'm happy to say that in this financial period, which began in July 2023, we did receive budget allocation for the purchase of new buses. It does not alleviate the complaints immediately, but it'll definitely, you'll show some improvements. And as I stated also, we're also looking at leasing some of our buses.
Yeah. Why haven't you started with the leasing as yet, considering that this has been an ongoing problem? You speak about 6 years not getting the money that you're supposed to. So this problem has always been there. Why haven't you leased the buses?
So we've previously gone out on 2 tenders for bus leasing. Unfortunately, in terms of the requirements and specifications on those tenders, we were not able to award those tenders. We are currently looking at alternative solutions. There is various contracts, fleet contracts, which the city has entered into. We are also then looking in terms of our requirements, determining whether we should revisit some of the specifications that we previously requested for the leasing. So it is not as a result of us not trying to address the issue. We've gone out to the market. Unfortunately, in terms of the responses we had received for the past 2 financial periods, they were not successful. And also, one of the things that I do have to mention is that in recent years, beginning from 2020, 2021, and I believe this is as a result of COVID, which hit everyone, there's been drastic budget cuts within Metrobus. So in terms of how we operate and the money available or allocated to us in the past 2 financial periods, unfortunately, we've seen drastic cuts, more than 200 million rand worth of cuts in terms of our operational budgets. However, as I stated, and I think this is what we are looking forward to, the city has invested and given us money to then buy new buses. And we are confident that before the end of this calendar year, that in terms of the leasing of buses and in terms of the purchasing of buses, I believe by the 3rd quarter of our financial period, which is around March, we should be having the new buses on our roads.